Hi everyone, welcome to English with Aga. In this video, we're talking about the most common mistakes that English learners make when they use used to and would. Used to and would are very similar to each other, so it's really easy to confuse them, but also to use them incorrectly. Before we start, download your free English grammar booklet from the video description and subscribe to my channel as well. Thank you. So used to and would, they are both used for talking about something that you did in the past that you don't do anymore. For example, I used to play basketball when I was younger. It means I played it when I was younger, but I don't play it anymore. I can also say I would play basketball when I was younger, which means the same thing. So used to and would are the same in this example. You can use either of them to mean the same thing. I have a separate video which I have linked in the video description if you want to learn more about used to and would. But in this video, I just want to talk about the main difference between them. And the mistake that people make is not understanding this difference and using used to and would incorrectly. So the main difference between them is that used to can be used both with actions and with states, whereas would can only be used with actions, but not with states. So what does this mean? Look at this sentence. I used to play basketball when I was younger. It's an action. It's something that I did. I used to play basketball. So we can use used to with actions, but we can also use used to with states. I used to like coffee when I was a student. It means in the past, when I was a student, I liked coffee, but I don't like it anymore. So liking something is not an action. It's not something you do. It's just something that you feel. It's a state. So used to works in both sentences. I used to play and I used to like. But would can only be used with actions. So you can say I would play basketball, but you cannot say I would like coffee when I was a student. That doesn't make sense. It's not correct. So that's one of the biggest mistakes that English learners make. They don't understand the difference, this very important difference. Like I said, if you want to learn more about the difference between used to and would, then make sure you watch the video in the description below. And if you're interested in learning grammar in general, I do have several online courses which you can take in your own time, so check out the video description for that as well. The second really big mistake that English students make when using used to is they don't get the form right in questions and negative sentences. So in a positive sentence, you just have used to. I used to play basketball. But in a question, the form changes. So it becomes did you used to? And one of the mistakes I often see is people forget to drop the D at the end of used. So they say, did you used to? Which is incorrect. So in questions, remember you have did and then use without the D. Did you used to play basketball when you were younger? The same goes for negative sentences. So I often see English students make this mistake. I didn't used to play basketball when I was younger. That's incorrect. Because it's a negative sentence, you also have to drop the D at the end of used. So it becomes I didn't used to play basketball. The third big mistake that English students make is not understanding that I used to and I was used to are two different things, and they mean something completely different. So like I said, I used to is something I did in the past that I don't do anymore. And I was used to means that I was accustomed to something. Something was normal to me. It was part of my everyday routine. So for example, when I worked at a school, I was used to getting up early every day. So that means it was part of my routine, it was part of my everyday life. It was normal for me, I was used to it. But I used to get up early means something completely different. It just means that I did it and I don't do it right now. So remember, they are very different things. The next one is quite similar. So the mistake that I see people make is not understanding that I was used to and I got used to are two different things. So like I said, I was used to means that something was normal for me. It was part of my everyday routine. And I got used to is more about the process of becoming used to something. When something is becoming part of your routine, but it's not there yet. You're not used to it yet. So you're becoming used to it. It's becoming normal for you. It took me a while to get used to getting up early. So to get used to getting up early means you become used to it slowly. Every day you get up early and it becomes part of your routine. Now let's do a practice exercise. Which answer is correct? When I was a student, I would like coffee, or I used to like coffee. Which one is correct? I used to like coffee. That's because liking something is not an action, it's a state. And when we talk about states, we have to use used to, not would. When Jenny worked as a nurse, she used to getting up early, or she was used to getting up early. Which one is correct? She was used to getting up early. It means it was normal for her. It was part of her everyday life. You can also say she used to get up early. That's a different meaning. It means she did it in the past, but she doesn't do it anymore. And also, there would be no ing, so just get up. She used to get up early. She was used to getting up early. The forms are different. When I first came to England, I was cold all the time, but I used to it, or I got used to it. Which one is correct? I got used to it. It means I became used to the cold. It became normal for me. How many did you get right? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you check out my online courses, my free grammar booklet, and the other video I've got about the difference between used to and would in English. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!